Hi guys, good evening and welcome back. So today, few of our channel viewers asked that we need to make one video on how to explain our automation project. So based on that, like I have created one simple setup of an automation framework so that you guys can clearly go through the each and every folder structure, and try to walk you through all the folder structure and how it looks like, guys. So basically, this framework is a BDD framework, which is all the test cases are written in Gherkin BDD language. So for the showcase, I have written three scenarios, and all the three scenarios will be getting passed. So basically, whenever you are trying to explain your automation project in your automation project, so you have to go through the each and every folder structure of it and what exactly each and every folder structure does. So first, let us get into the base package. Okay, so this base package is available in the src main. So inside this base package, so there is a class called base class. So this the responsibilities of this base class is to it is not necessarily what I tell, but it can include many other things as well. So just for the example purpose, I have used this base class to set up the WebDriver and to launch the url. So basically, this is kind of a parent class for all the page classes. So that is the reason. So in order to reduce the code duplicacy, so we will keep the code in the base class so that every page classes we don't need to write the WebDriver management. So basically, here I am setting up the Chrome driver, and based on the driver which I am passing, so that browser will be open. So after that, it will maximize the window, and then it will open the this particular web application. So and also we can write many other things also in this particular class, like taking the screenshots, or could be weights, could be highlighting the web element, so many other things, so common use cases. So in order to reduce the duplicacy, so we can put it inside the base class, and we can start reusing in the page classes. So this is the base package responsibility inside the base class. So there is one more package called the pages package. So this pages, so it is a page object model pattern. Each and every pages will be having its own page classes. So inside that page classes, it will be having its own web elements, and it will be having the action methods, and it will be having one constructor where it has to initialize the browser. So this is the login page class, so which is extending the base class so that I can access all the methods in the base class without creating an object or something. Without doing anything, I can do that. So basically, this is a web page which is having the web elements. So this find by I'm using it, and I'm declaring the variables, and I'm writing the XPath and web element and web element name. So basically, we have to make this as a private. So since I did not have much time, so I just kept it as it is, guys. So we have to make it as a private, so then only we are using the concept of encapsulation oops concept. So this is here we are using one oops concept which is called inheritance. Okay, so here there is one more oops concept which is to make the web element as private. So this is encapsulation, so that we will not be able to access so this particular web element outside of this particular login page class. So that is the meaning of encapsulation. So what is the meaning of inheritance? So inheritance is basically acquiring all the parent class properties into the child class, is what we call it as inheritance. So we use the inheritance in order to reduce the duplicacy of the code. Okay, so that is fine. So then comes constructor. So the constructor, what we are doing is inside the constructor we are calling the superclass constructor. So super is representing the immediate parent class. So what is the immediate parent class for this login page is the base class. So the super is we are going to call the base class constructor. Okay, so using the super keyword, so we are using the page factory dot init elements, so we are passing the driver comma this. So driver, we are passing it from the parent class because we can access the driver object, driver variable. This is the variable I can use it, so in this particular class, so without doing anything. So because this init element method requires the driver as an parameter, so that is the reason we have to pass that. Okay, so then we will be writing the actions method for each and every web element that we have written here. So basically, like we have written one verify login. Verify login is the method which takes the parameters as username and password, which will be supplied from the test case. Correct. So this can be passed from the Excel file also. This can be passed from the test case file also, it depending on the uh, number of data sets. So it depends on that, so that can be decided based on the number of data. So here we are like calling the start username dot send keys method, and we are passing the username and passing the password. Okay, so then click on login button. We are clicking on that. Okay, so then like there is one more method called ATM service displayed or not. So I'll explain you once we get into the test cases. So here like I'm declaring one array list variable, and I'm like iterating through all the services which will be passed. So then I'm trying to like add it into this particular method, and I'm like I'm printing the text. So this service is a web element which will be like this is the web element. So this will be like list of web elements. It is not a web element, so it is the list of web elements. So that I'm iterating it, I'm getting the text of it, and I'm adding it into this particular array list, and then I'm printing that particular text, and I'm returning the list of those services. Okay, so this is the page class. So this is the second part. So inside this pages classes, you can have n number of page classes, and which can be written for all the particular classes, each and every web element and each and every action methods. Okay, so there could be another package called utils package, so where you can write all your utility methods, say for example kind of taking the screenshots, or kind of util methods, common util methods, like you can write something like weights also, you can do that. Some excel operations utilities, say for example if you want to modify some excel specific columns or specific cell each and every time when you want to run the test case, so you can write on common utility method, so where you need to update that particular field whenever we run the test case. So in that case you can write that method in the util class, and you can use it wherever you want. Okay, so then comes the test classes. So then test classes is having the hooks method. So hooks method is basically it's a simple hook method, and it is having the before and after. So before running the test, I'm passing the Chrome browser as default as a Chrome browser, and after executing the test, I'm putting the browser. So these are the operations commonly we perform using the hooks. Okay, so then comes the step definition file. So the step definition files are the intermediate layer from the test cases to the test page classes, right? So here if you look into the feature file, so here we have written three scenarios. So successful login with valid credentials. So given user is on the login page, the user enters the valid username and password, and I'm passing the username and password. So hard coded. So clicks on the login button, then the user should redirect to the home page. Okay, so this is one test case. For this test case, what are the step definition? If you control and mouse over that particular given statement, so it will highlight, and if you click on that, so you land into the step definition file. So this is the step definition file. So here what we have to do here also, like extend is happening. So then like we have to create an object of the login page class. Okay, so once you create the object of the login page class, so from the second definition, the user has to enter the valid username and password. Correct. So in this case we have to login page dot verify login method, and username and password anyway I'm already passing it from the feature file, and the same thing will goes to this particular method. So the verify login method I have already explained in the login page class. So this is the login page class, and which uh, uses the send case method. Whatever we supply from the test case file, that will be passed here. Okay, so that is another thing. So like that, for each and every method we will be like writing it writing the, I mean, calling the specific methods in this particular step definition file. And assertions also we can write it here. So if you want to write any asserts, we can write assert dot assert equals, and what is the expected and what is the actual. So expected will be passed from the feature file, and the actual will be coming from the page classes. Correct. So in that case, we can write all our test cases like this. So then comes the test runner uh, class. So the test runner class is basically, we call it as an this is the entry point for the test execution. Without this test runner class, you cannot execute your project. So basically, so which is having the cucumber options. So here we have the features, so which is we have to pass the feature file paths. So it will take all the features from this feature folder, and glow is the step definition and hooks and the plugins. So if you want to write any kind of an html report for the test results, so you can do that. And to clear the console, you have to write the monochrome, and dry run is like, if you don't want to execute, you just want to see the execution order, so you can make the dry run as true and you can run it. The moment when you make the dry run as false, the actual execution will start. Okay. So we have to execute our test runner from here, and you have to start executing it. Okay. So I have explained. So this is the test runner is the starting point. Once you start executing it, so it will start like, reading the feature file, and from feature file it will start executing it, and it will go to step definition file, and it will go to this page classes, and then it will go to the respective base classes if it is whatever it is required. So it will start going it, and let us run this and I'll show you how it works. Okay. So I started running the test runner class. So it started. So as you can see, three scenarios are there. So it started with three, and it started with first one, and it entered the username and password, and it clicked on the login button. It redirected to the home page, and it is success. So again, the invalid credential login has failed, so it is also success. The third one is like, again, to get the atm services. So it has get the atm services, so that is the reason this is also pass. Okay. So this is how we can verify the test cases, guys. So then one more important package is like pom.xml file. So this is very very important, because this is where we are going to maintain all our dependencies required for our particular project. So it can be like, both selenium, rest assured, or whatever. If your project is both ui and backend, if it is handling both, so you can add all the required dependencies and you can start automating it, guys. So that is the importance of pom.xml file. So once this is done, so then we have to like, complete the flow, right? So you have to like, configure the CI/CD. First you have to push this code into the GitHub repository, and from that GitHub repository you have to configure on CI/CD job for a specific schedule if it has to execute. So then it will start executing, and it will start publishing the results, guys. So here, like, in the login dot feature, you can use the tags like, the test case, like, you can use any tags, something like, test case one. Okay. So if you want to execute only this particular test case, so you just have to provide this tag inside the test runner and then start executing it. So only this particular test case will get executed. The rest of the test case will not get executed. Okay. So that is one thing. So and also, like, you can integrate the API test cases also into this particular project, but somehow due to lack of time, I did not do that. But I have a separate project for that. API test cases, so which is also almost same, guys. So it is like, you can write the API test cases over here, and you can write the BDD scenarios for that. And from the BDD scenarios, and you can okay. So one second, give me a second. Okay, okay. So here it is like, yeah, this is the feature file for the API. The same thing you can do that in the same project UI and API. So here, like, it has to, like, successful create a new employee. So the API endpoint is available, and the valid JSON payload is loaded from this particular JSON, and the post request is sent to the employee API. The response status code is 200, and the response body should contain Anita. Okay, so this is the scenario, and if you like, mouse over here, it will take us to the step definition file. So from this definition file, it will call the particular methods, and as of now, I have hard coded all the things. So you can split it as a one more layer, like, where you can put this as an utility methods, or like, common places. You can make this as a generic method where you just have to call here, and you just have to pass this uh, endpoint and the base URL, and get the response and verify the response. So like that also we can do it, guys. So if anybody is asking in the interview, so you have to explain from end to end, guys. So keep it informative, and keep them, like, engaged in your explanation, so that, like, they will get interested the way you are explaining. Okay, even if you know the content, if you don't know the explain, that is going to be a big problem. So you have to keep all the things in mind, that while explaining, start, like, explaining in such a way that, so that you will impress them. Include all the oops concept also to impress them, so they will get impressed actually. Okay, so that's all from my side, guys. If you like my content, please hit the like button and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so very much for watching my content, guys. Thank you so much.